And now, the thrilling continuation of the SML podcast.
This man was so large, he had to put deodorant under his breasts in the morning.
Wow. Like the whole stick?
Like he would lift a boob and rub deodorant like it was an underarm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
I just have the mental image of him lifting one up and putting an entire stick of deodorant and just flopping it down on top.
Oh, God. We usually try and shut up for at least 5 minutes so you guys can actually get your stuff out there, and then it just devolves from there.
All right. Sweet. Yeah.
I mean, our business card legit says the SML podcast being stupid since 2013. So we embrace the stupidity on our show.
Stupidity.
The stupidity.
Stupiditysism.
The dumpidity.
Yeah, that's right up our alley too. So we're when we used to have our animation studio, we were focused mostly on that. It was quality cartoons at their qualitiest.
So any kind of questions? Are we good to go?
I think we should be good to go. Yeah, we'll give it a shot and see what shakes loose here.
It's okay if you have a hard time getting into it. We're still bad at this show too.
Sure, speak for yourself. I'm amazing.
You're the host I like the least on this show, Pappy.
The host that you like the least, or they like the least?
That I like the least. I mean, I'm not a fan of any of the hosts on this show, but you're probably near the bottom.
Well, that's fair enough.
Which is apt because you're a good bottom.
Oh, all right. And
so what's up,
3,
everyone?
2,
This is Joe.
4. And I'm Pappy.
This is the SML podcast, episode number 162, and we are joined by two of the fine folks over at Stellar J Games. Would you fellows like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Ted Wilson. I'm one of the artists and game designers over here.
I'm Corey. I'm the other guy. The other one.
The other guy. Is that on your business card?
No. Yes. I don't know. I'm not good at talking.
We spend most of our days over here, head down in our computers, scribbling away like mad. So yeah, our verbosity has taken a bit of an atrophication, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Those are words, right?
Something like that. Close enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So that we're the two guys, and then we also have a coder we work with most of the time, and he's over in Denmark. And then we also have a couple other guys who aren't here right now, Bernie Wong and Jeffrey Yim, and they're the two coders on the game we're just releasing now.
So for those who don't know, what is the game that you are releasing now?
Well, it is the world's greatest baby throwing simulator. It is. It's called Dad Beat Dads, and it's a local multiplayer sort of beat 'em up. It's where you play as one of 9 dads. You have to beat up the other dads and grab their babies, protect your baby, and get it back to your base. So it's a bit of mayhem, a bit of fun.
Dad-based brawler.
A dad-based brawler. Oh my God, that's a new genre in the making. A dad-based brawler.
It's about time. I mean, to be honest, though, this is a great time for dad-focused video games between, this one and the Steam game where you try not to kill the baby.
Which one's that?
That was called...
I just completely brain farted the name of the fucker. That's what it's called.
You talk about it like every other week, and you forgot the name of Who's Your Daddy.
Thank you.
There it is.
How did you forget that, Pappy?
It's been a long day.
You bring it up so much on this show, and you forgot
spent 2 hours. I spent 2 hours on hold today, and my brain just went goodbye.
Oh yeah, that'll cook anyone's synapses.
Especially the hold music was half of a classic symphony and half radio interference. So
it was dubstep?
No, it was just like da 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 da. lot. So, I could even...
Sounds like dubstep.
That's my favorite Skrillex.
Beethoven Skrillex.
So Dad Beat Dads is releasing this Friday on Xbox One. What other platforms is it going to be on?
We actually released it a little while ago on Steam. So it's been out on Steam and Humble. But as far as consoles, Xbox is the only one right now. So we're going to see what happens with Xbox. And if the millions of fans all around the world decide they need more dads in their lives, then we'll see about porting it over to some other consoles.
I mean, who doesn't need more baby throwing in their lives, really?
Right?
I wouldn't even, what I like about it is you're not necessarily throwing the babies. You're punching the shit out of the other dads and kidnapping them.
Yeah. You are, but you can also whip your baby at their heads to knock them out. So it's got a good mix of ultra violence and ridiculous, cartoony, over the top baby tossing. So.
Oh yeah, the very first dad that I played as had a goldfish for a head.
Nice.
That's Fish Dad.
I had to go with the shark my first time.
Shark Dad?
That's Shark Dad.
Yes, it is.
Those are inventive names, by the way.
What's that?
I said those are very inventive names. Shark.
Yes.
Well, we have Dino Dad.
He's a dinosaur.
What's the other one?
Oh, there's literally 9 of them.
There's 9.
There's 9 of them.
That's it. I have the game open. We have Dino, Mechanic, Boxer, Accountant, Space, Shark, Combat, Construction, and Fish.
I played Accountant Dad. I don't know why. I played as him.
Well, he's one of the faster ones. We've got. The game is pretty streamlined. We've got a sort of a tight, concise experience, but we also have a bit of a stats. We'll try to vary the stats a little bit on those dads.
Yeah, there's basically 3 classes. So you got the big guys who can punch harder, but they run. No, they don't run slower. They're just. How did we separate that?
Yeah, I think
we can't remember.
They're a little bit slower. It's been a long time since we signed off on it, so we're refreshing ourselves.
Basically, the skinnier ones like Accountant and Fish, they can run faster, but their hits aren't as strong. And the medium weight guys can throw really fast. I think that's
the animal guys. They can.
Yeah, the beast races.
Yeah, the Dino Dads and Shark Dads of the world can in the diaper sniper mode, where you're basically just whipping a brick, trying to kill the other dad, one hit, one kill.
They're the most useful.
That's where they shine.
Whipping a brick.
Which I love the game modes in this game, because you can't just stop at chucking babies at each other and trying to kidnap other fathers' babies. You had to add in a mode where you just chuck bricks at each other. And then
they're diaper covered bricks.
Yeah,
so
diapers.
Yeah, exactly.
So baby bricks.
Baby bricks. Yeah.
Yeah, these dads were shitting bricks, so they decided to put it to use.
God damn it.
I kind of start to wonder what their motivation is, though. Like, why are these 4 dads whipping a diaper brick at each other?
Well, we have a
really big backstory that we took out of the game because
it was ridiculous.
We like to take the John Carmack approach and keep story out of games as much as possible for now.
I'm curious to know, though. So this could be like a little exclusive for our show, that if you're enjoying the game and you want to know the motivation behind these dads, you can hear about the story on our show.
It can finally be told. We basically decided that this was like a post-apocalyptic world where aliens had invaded. And the aliens had stolen all the mothers, taken them away, and the babies left behind in the radioactive wake were like rendered invulnerable and indestructible. So because all the mothers were gone, they had to make sure the dads took care of them. So they put on this
competition, this
massive competition that was sort of like half Running Man, half America's Got Talent. And to compete to see who the best dad in the world is. So all these dads are vying to see who will eventually become the ultimate baby caregiver. The world's greatest dad.
I am now officially crushed that there is no campaign mode in this game.
That would be pretty fun if we could have that whole story play out. That's the sequel. So
Dad beat Dad's story mode by Telltale Games.
If you were to let the kids pick, then obviously they want to either be raised by a dino or a shark. I mean, that's just...
Right?
Yeah. Dinos, I think, pretty popular. We would tweet some animated GIF. I don't know what the...
It's
I don't know what I'm...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I like you, Pappy.
Anyone who says GIF needs to be slapped.
It's not graphics, all right? It's graphics.
I just slapped Corey for you. It's been a long time coming.
Animated GIFs. We did some of Dino Dad, and it got retweeted multiple thousands of times on Tumblr by the furry community. So they really took a liking to him.
They really seized on the Dino Dad.
We'll take it, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now that means that we're interviewing people who know what furries are. Because we had an interview a couple months ago. I had to explain furries.
That's not something anyone should have to do.
So Pappy, for the people who don't know, what is a furry?
It's something you can easily Google. Just have safe search on and don't go to images.
Oh yeah.
On the flip side, you could turn safe search off, go to images, and then get eye bleach.
No, I mean there's nothing wrong with the furry community. It's just like any other community. The ones who sexualize it. That's when you actually run across your childhood memories, like Gadget and Rescue Rangers having a gangbang.
You still have that page bookmarked, don't you, Pappy?
No, I got a new computer. I lost my bookmarks.
All right.
Yeah, so we I got to admit, Shark Dad probably is my favorite too, just because he's sort of it's the weirdest one, and I always loved Street Sharks growing up, so got to pay homage to that Mighty Ninja Turtles ripoff that everybody loved from the 90s.
Yet no Turtle Dad in here.
I mean,
No, there was talk of a Turtle Dad for a while.
We had a Dog the Bounty Hunter looking guy.
Oh God.
There were too many wrinkles in his forehead, and it was hard to make out on a tiny screen.
Could we see those come eventually as DLC characters or like free updates to the game?
We've thought about getting some DLC in there, getting some grandfather dads and some mom dads.
Mom dad.
Mom dad.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I guess maybe Caitlyn Jenner. Is that what that would be?
His name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah.
Oh God.
What you guys have had a chance to play the game? Which dads did you prefer?
I'm a shark guy.
I liked Dino,
Okay.
and you were saying accountant isn't. What I was doing the corporate ladder. Accountant seemed to do pretty good for me.
Yeah, that speed he's got. You can get away from everybody else and.
Yeah, I won. Yay.
Nice.
Yeah, the only dads I've really used so far are Shark Dad, Dino Dad, and then Fish Dad. They're the goofiest ones, so they're the ones I was immediately interested in playing as.
Nice. Yeah, that's something I think we sort of struggled with. Like part of the gag initially with the game was like it's dads. It's like a game about dads. One of the most normal, everyday things.
That's where basically mechanic and accountant sort of came from.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to think of like dad archetypes.
Yeah, putting them in a weird situation where they're battling to the death in this giant coliseum, it would be kind of strange. But as we went along, we found like, okay, the weirder ones really are sort of the most fun because they are so bizarre. You don't see them every day.
Yeah, because I mean,
So
you don't. Everyone's got lawyer and doctor and all of that stuff. But you guys,
But a man with a fish face is just.
Yeah.
or the astronaut.
Oh yeah, Officer Chris Dadfield.
What other characters have official names that we don't know about?
That's a
Chris
good question.
The
Dadfield.
thing is, we couldn't fit Officer what did you say, Dad? Chris
Dadfield.
We just can't. It won't fit in the UI, so we just stuck with space.
Yeah, the technical limitations.
You named the commando, didn't you?
Oh, what was he? Oh, Samuel L. Dadson.
Combat Dad.
Yeah, Combat Dad.
That's racist.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it is a law in Hollywood that if you only have one African American cast, it has to be Samuel L. Jackson
Or Morgan Freeman. Or Morgan Freeman.
Oh no, well that's if you need a wise old man and race isn't an issue.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we'd love to get Morgan Freeman narrating the Dad Be Dads.
Yeah, he would have been a great announcer for the game.
Oh yeah.
And the shark throws the baby at the construction worker.
If I could just pay Morgan Freeman to create sound bites that I could use in my everyday life, man, money would be no object.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's cheap.
Oh
yeah.
I was watching these game. For some reason, I decided to go into some of the streamers' backlog, and I was watching this one game where the dude was doing a near perfect Morgan Freeman. But it was the game mode was one guy's an invisible hunter trying to kill off all these officers, cops that are also trying to kill the hunter. And so in this perfect Morgan Freeman voice, he's doing like, "I can smell you. I can't wait to run my blade down your throat," and just shit like that. And I'm like, oh my god, this if only you could get the real Morgan Freeman to say shit like that.
That would be fantastic. So I need to ask what is probably the most important question about this game. What kind and how many drugs were you on when you came up with the idea?
All of the drugs.
All of the drugs. Well, that's the weird thing, actually. The guys who came up with the initial burst of inspiration for the game were actually the two coders. And those guys are not quite teetotalers, but if they have a beer every 6 months, I think that's probably pretty outrageous for them. So
they're coders though, so I'm assuming they're caffeine addicts.
That's a good question. I don't know. They're almost completely viceless, which is kind of crazy because our backgrounds are not. Yeah, we did all our drinking and drugging back in our teens and 20s. Yeah, so there's still some malted hops and bomb residue bombing around in there somewhere.
I think it's weird with some creative types because you got the ones who obviously embrace the alternate lifestyle, and you got the others that you just assume are on drugs. Then you find out like they've never had a beer before, and you're like, oh, maybe that's why you don't need drugs.
Yeah.
You're just naturally insane.
Yeah, I worked with a guy. I worked with a guy years ago, and we always joked. We always like, dude, how much pot did you smoke before you got this job? And he'd never touched a joint, like ever in his life. You just assumed talking to him that he had been high for 3 or 4 years straight.
Well, if that were true, he probably wouldn't have created anything.
That's
very true. Very true. Just tons of cocaine instead. Just mountains of it.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely there was a few times back in the day where inspiration would strike under the influence of the reefer madness, and there's usually some pretty good stuff. But yeah, the follow through on our end was not.
Yeah, that's the problem with when you're, depending on your personality type and energy level. Yeah, you get high and think of the coolest, weirdest stuff, but then implementation.
Yeah. Hey man, that's a really good idea. We should do that, man. Maybe later. Well, you should fucking write it down, man. It's like, nah, it's good. I'll remember it.
Yeah. First, we gotta see what these M&Ms taste like in this ranch dressing. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, there's plenty of that back in the day. But yeah, the guys who came up with the original idea are the two coders. We actually ran into them. I guess it was last summer sometime. Vancouver has a lot of indie game meetups. There's a huge community of indie developers here, and there's probably about 200-300 people show up to these things and just trade games and show off what you're working on. And one of the coders, Bernie, was actually a guy I had gone to school with for animation, and we hadn't seen each other in a while, and we were both sort of amazed to see we had each abandoned animation for the greener pastures of video games. And they showed us the prototype of these dads whipping babies around. Like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, they had just temp art of the what was the name of that game?
River City
Ransom guys carrying Baby Mario.
Oh God.
And they, I don't think they were intending on keeping the baby motif, if I remember correctly. And they were like, "Oh, that's just a placeholder. We're gonna give them rocks or something." We're like, "No way! This
is the game.
These are dads throwing babies around. That's amazing."
That actually reminds me of my favorite ROM hack of all time. Is somebody took the game Super Dodgeball for the NES and just replaced the ball with a baby.
Really?
That is the only thing that they changed in the game, was that they turned the ball into and it was just baby dodgeball. And it's the funniest fucking ROM hack I've ever played, because you're just playing dodgeball with a baby. The same characters are there, the same moves, everything is exactly the same, except it's a baby. It was just, it was beautiful to behold.
We can definitely get on board with anything that throws babies around. So
that's something we don't see enough of in video games these days. Babies in danger.
Well, no, I mean, no, the babies are invulnerable. Why not utilize them?
Get a baby upside your head.
Get a baby upside your head. I like that.
It would really reduce the muggings if the mother could just, whack the thief upside the head with a baby.
But no, child endangerment is a thing.
Well, I mean, there's a market obviously for tiny little suits of armor. I think we're baby bulletproof vests, baby football helmets.
Well, they could make one of those sumo suits, but for a toddler. I think they do.
We're on to something here, fellas.
Yeah.
Oh man! So how long has this game been in development?
For us, like I said, we met up with those guys about last summer sometime, and since we both have our own full-time gigs, we could only work on it part-time. So I guess it's been about a year, but in terms of full-time development, like maybe 6 months or so.
What are your full-time gigs?
We actually Stellar J Studios does a lot of licensed games, so we're doing a lot of work for Cartoon Network. Like we did a browser game starring Gumball. I don't know if you guys know the.
I am in with the cartoons.
Nice.
That's about all I fucking watch.
Well, Gumball is the first one we did. We hadn't really seen a lot of it when we first started it, but we were blown away how funny it is. It's insane the stuff they get away with on that show. So.
Oh yeah, I think Cartoon Network has finally gotten back to that, of making good, fun cartoons that you can get at any age.
Yeah. There's lots of jokes in there for like kids and stuff that would just completely go over the heads and.
Yeah, because I know for a while they had that bullshit of. I know they fired the CEO or whatever, but he came in and he killed Teen Titans and was like, "We're gonna go live action," and everyone's like, "What the fuck? It's Cartoon Network." Yeah. So they fired him and got back to good shit like Adventure Time and Gumball, and I'll even say Teen Titans Go is pretty damn funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
Sweet. Yeah, we're actually we finished the game for Teen Titans Go late last year, and we're just starting. In fact, today we just started working on another one for them for Teen Titans Go.
And are all those going to be browser-based games, or are those looking at coming to consoles at all?
They're all browser right now. I know Cartoon Network does a lot of mobile stuff too, so there might be some stuff eventually getting over to the mobile side, but they don't really do a lot of console stuff. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's a little more expensive, so they freak out a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like the only one they really do console stuff for is Adventure Time.
Yeah. I think they released one last year, or
just like a month and a half ago, right?
The adventures, the investigations one. What the hell was the name of it? Finn and Jake Investigations, I think.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete. What?
We actually covered it on this show, and I can't remember the name.
Now it's your turn, asshole.
Hey, I'm getting old and forgetful. We've covered that on this show. The something podcast. I don't know. Where am I?
It always pushes out some old information, so I feel your pain.
But yeah, I'd love to see more. I don't want to just say cartoon based, but more games that are directed at a younger audience but can be enjoyed by an older audience. I'd love to see more games come from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about like most of the stuff that was released back in the day. I assume you guys are around the same age as us. Grew up with like Mario and Zelda and Sonic and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Those games, like, I mean, they're essentially geared for kids, but everybody loves them, right? And you don't see as much of that nowadays. So there's definitely room for that stuff.
Yeah, there's room for it. I just feel like they cater too much in the gaming industry. It's like, okay, now most of our gamers are between like 25 and 40, so we want to cater to adult stuff. It's like, you can cater to kid shit and still catch those adults. You got parents, just make it a good game. It's going to get played.
Exactly, yeah.
I think they tend to forget that, I mean, as much as Gears of War, I enjoyed playing it. It's like you can do more things than just, a bunch of muscle bros chainsawing shit in half. I'll play other games, I swear.
Yeah, like I'm happy with games that feature blood and tits as much as everyone else, but every now and then I want to sit down and just play like Lego Avengers or that Finn and Jake Investigations game that came out, or we played the Peanuts movie game that came. I like fun kids games because they just let you decompress from some of the crazier, violent, sexual stuff that's out now.
Yeah, I get enough of that when I read the news every morning. I don't necessarily need it on my console.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a balance. I mean, that's sort of obviously our background in animation, we sort of tend towards the cartoony stuff. So it's definitely, our first instinct is to go to the cartoony side of things. So we see there's a gap in the market there, and we're hoping that we can sort of fill that gap with dad throwing babies.
Yeah.
I will admit, though, deep down, part of me would really want to see an M-rated version of Dad Beat Dads where, like, you chuck the baby at someone and the guy's head just explodes from impact. Like, the babies themselves are invulnerable, but they just destroy everything.
That would be really fun, actually. It's like destructible environments you can put in there and have them cause cave-ins. Grand Theft Baby.
Grand Theft Baby. That's the sequel with a campaign.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're making gold ideas here.
Yeah, we're writing this down, so we'll make sure.
Dad Beat Dads 2. Even dadlier.
Oh, God. We're writing this down to make sure we never talk to you again.
Oh, that is cool.
But you mentioned you like the cartoony stuff. I really, really, really love the visual style of this game. Just
Thanks, man.
The character designs, the level layouts, just everything is just, it feels like a cartoon. And I love the visual style to it. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, we worked really hard on it. Yeah, thank you.
And a man with a fish head, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. We grew up on a lot of the Ren and Stimpies of the world, so there's definitely a bit of that flavor in there with the crazy expressions when you get hit in the face, and we really came up with a lot of our ideas based on. You ever heard of Gundarr? Have you guys heard of Gundarr?
I have not.
No.
Joe.
Nope.
Holy shit! There's a game you don't know, Joe?
It actually isn't a game. It's a web series we created a couple years back. So we were in the flow of that. It's a giant barbarian, sort of like Conan, and he's got a 9mm pistol, and he runs around shooting people in the face. So we took some of that vibe and put it in there without as much of the blood and guts, but just the ridiculousness of these super alpha dads. So yeah, if you guys find yourself with 3 minutes to kill on the internet, you should go check out Gundarr.
Gundarr or Gunbar?
Gundarr D and 2 R's.
2 R's.
Two R's. All right. There we go. Gundarr, Crystal Whipped Episode 1.
There it is.
I am going to have to look this up. Mondo Media. Wow, I haven't heard of that in a while.
A very Gundarr Christmas. All right.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my! 38 episodes. Holy shit!
Yeah, we cranked them out. So that's the thing about Dad Be Dads. We're used to a production pipeline. So once we were able to devote our time to it, we could crank out the art side pretty quickly. So the rest of the time was spent focusing on the actual gameplay and trying to tune it up as best we could.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night after this show.
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh shit, I got all these things I got to queue up and do. But nope, we're watching YouTube.
We'll just kill the episode right now and just watch this instead.
Only I had the option to not go into work tomorrow.
An American, South African, Mexican animated series on YouTube. Series premiered June 1st, 2011, created by Corey McDaniel and Ted Wilson. Show was given a TV 14 rating. Ooh.
My.
Due to
13-year-olds allowed to watch this.
Suggestive dialogue, coarse language, sexual content, violence, and nudity.
Oh, I'm sold.
I'm going to have to check with my mom first.
Nice. Wait, are you reading a Wikipedia page?
Yes.
Did it really say South Africa Mexican?
Gundarr is an American-South African-Mexican adult animated series.
We can't back that up.
Yeah, that's a complete lie. Somebody's having fun on Wikipedia. It's an American-Canadian co-production, though.
And Venezuelan, Brazilian,
Panamanian, Mexican, South American,
Afghanistan animation.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out later on.
Nice. So have you guys had a chance to play Dad Be Dads like head to head in the same room yet, or have you?
No, unfortunately, we're 3 time zones apart.
Yeah, so I've been playing the computer AI quite a bit and just wrecking their shit.
Yeah, but you at least have a wife and a roommate. You could talk them into playing.
I have a roommate who's never here and a wife who works constantly.
That's right, your wife hates you. I keep forgetting.
Today, while we were out to eat, she was going on and on about her one coworker that she saw. That she's like, he's just the perfect man. I'm so hot for him. He's so perfect and dreamy and beautiful. She's showing me pictures of him. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, don't worry. He's married and he has a kid and another one on the way. He's just perfect. That doesn't make me feel better. Like, what?
I mean, at this point, Joe, you should know that you're not perfect. You should just be glad that she actually said I do instead of, what the fuck? What are you doing in my house?
Every day I wake up and I'm amazed that the hypnosis is still working. She's like, nice. Isn't there anyone that you think is just perfect that you want to be with? No.
Yeah, but Scarlett Johansson put a restraining order down, so...
It's like I can understand her infatuation with Vin Diesel and her being like, he's perfect, I would do anything for him. It's like, okay, that's Vin Diesel. You really don't have a shot with Vin Diesel. But someone that you work with, that you see regularly, that you think is perfect and dreamy and amazing...
I feel like Joe is very hurt in his soul.
Like, do you have to tell me this? Like, don't show me his picture. That hurts even more.
Yeah, that's tough.
You can text me the picture and I'll judge for myself.
I'll tell Ashley to text it to you. I should just text her right now. Oh, man.
Time to show up at work and warn this guy off. Mark your territory.
We only have one car, so I can't get there anyway.
Well, you'll just have to pee along the tires of the car so he can smell.
You mark my territory, yeah.
Yep,
exactly, yeah. You get warned off.
Text Pappy a picture.
So are you playing the easy or the hard mode?
I was playing easy mode, honestly. It took me 2 tries to figure out the main game, the one that we were talking about earlier, where you're actually whipping baby. Yeah, smash and grab. It took me a round to figure that one out. Corporate ladder was pretty easy. I think I could actually up difficulty on that. Diaper sniper, I kept getting my ass handed to me. Me and aiming are not friends.
I didn't know you could change difficulty. I just added the bots and played. There's Ashley.
And that was Joe's phone. In case anyone was wondering what the fuck just happened.
He's squeezing his cat over there. What the hell's happening?
I have 5 of them, so I probably could squeeze them on the air.
Jesus
Christ. Oh, wow.
I forgot to silence my phone. That's my bad. That's on me.
Got to silence your cats.
Oh, there's none around. I'm good. Yeah, amazingly, Potato hasn't tried jumping on my desk yet.
Potato.
That's the magic word.
That's the best cat name I've heard. That's great.
Yeah, where's the difficult? I'm in corporate ladder now, and I didn't know you could switch difficulty.
Oh, corporate ladder is the only only mode that doesn't have difficulty. It's just default. Just one size fits all. The other two, you can ramp up or down the difficulty. That's one thing
I see that now. I have this thing called inability to notice things that are blatantly in front of me. So,
he also does. He don't read good.
Words are scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to minimize the wordification in the game. That's why most of the instructions are cartoons that started off.
Which works really well too.
Cool. Yeah, we're trying to make it international, but which is ironic because we mostly had to stay in North America because of the ESRB versus PEGI situation. I don't know if you guys know much about the ratings of video games because we sure did not.
Yeah, I know Europe has like doesn't every country over in Europe have their own rating system? Basically,
yeah. I mean, you can hit 5 or 6 of them, I think, with the PEGI system, PEGI, but they are super expensive.
You have to pay them to judge your product.
Yeah.
That kind of
so
sucks.
It was a little funky. So our internationalism, without using English, we'll wait for the second wave of Dad Beat Dads to take over.
Yeah, I remember we were talking with Matt DeLucas of Matrified Games and his game Battle High, and a lot of people are like, is it ever going to come to Europe? And he's like, well, it's really fucking expensive to get a game certified in Europe. So it's in the future, I hope, but for now I just want to focus on getting the game out in general. Yes. Plus, a lot of people will just make an American account and buy shit from the American marketplaces anyway.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Come one, come all. Yeah, Europe and Australia were definitely they make it pretty tough for the little guys. But thank God for the ID at Xbox program, which is we're lucky we partnered up with them early on last year, and we were able to, they really sort of ease the transition for us from animation to video games because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. So to get their expertise was just super handy.
How did you guys first get in touch with the ID at Xbox team?
We just submitted the game, didn't we?
Yeah, we basically we lucked out. We saw it just at the right time. We're like, hey, this is a thing, this ID at Xbox program. Like, well, we don't really have a track record, but what the hell, we'll give it a shot. And we bundled up the game and sent it off, and they're like, baby throwing, yes, we're in.
It's weird because depending on who we talk to, some of them will say the ID at Xbox is amazing and PlayStation's really hard to talk to, and then others will say that PlayStation's amazing and Xbox is really hard to get in touch with. It's always weird to hear different perspectives of, Xbox just welcomed us with open arms, and other people are like, we never heard from them at all. So I wonder how they go about picking and choosing who they talk with and who they welcome into the family and stuff like that.
Joe, this dude is seriously dreamy.
Go fuck yourself, Pappy.
He's even posing with a Labrador.
Damn it. You're going to kill my marriage, Pappy. Damn
No,
you,
that
Ashley!
Oh, man. Time to
Wow.
lay the smackdown.
Gonna smack that bitch tonight. Oh, wait, no, Pappy's
Whoa.
in Vegas. Pappy's in Vegas.
Whoa.
Magfest, I will smack that bitch.
All right, that's
Because I'll
better.
see you at Magfest. Oh, come on. We all know Ashley could kick my ass.
Oh God, yeah.
Easily. My wife could beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, but the awkward thing is that you'd be moaning the whole time, and it just gets weird.
Pretty much.
So
No,
yeah,
video
interviews.
games.
What were you guys talking about?
Something about my wife abusing me some way. I don't know. Something like that.
It's hot. That is hot.
Yeah.
So before we started recording, you mentioned that you guys might be working on some new stuff. Anything you're able to talk about?
Well, we can get into it broadly. I mean, we're casting a wide net. Stellar J Studios, as a game company, is still pretty young, so we're sort of trying a bunch of different stuff. We've got one game in development that's a mobile game, which is sort of completely new for us, and that one it's the broad strokes. It's like Peggle meets explosions. I guess.
Interesting.
Go on.
Yeah. So
Our
it's
attention is gained.
Exploding animals, to be specific.
Yeah.
Even better.
So, so it's like sort of a pachinko. So you guys can see a theme here where cute stuff sort of gets thrown around and blown up. And
Yeah.
we like our mayhem. So this game it's sort of like you can.
It's like pachinko or plinko, but you can control the ball that's falling down, and you can sort of inflate it. And when you inflate it, it kind of propels it around. So you're not just watching a ball fall down into like the goal. You can actually control it somewhat.
And the ball is actually the pets,
Is the animal,
which are these animals are like, so they inflate as you press down, and if you hold it down too long, they blow up. So.
It's horrifying.
So, yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Is this
So we're
planned
working-
only for mobile, or do you see this as something that might be a console or handheld game, kind of like Peggle is?
It could be, but right now we're really tailoring it specifically for mobile. I mean, it's got a real vertical feel to it. It's like we're basically developing it so you can play it in portrait mode with your phone. So it's got like 4 or 5 phone heights of level for you to bust around in. So, never say never, but yeah, it's basically focused on mobile right now.
My wife just came in and she's staring at me. I can't hear what you're saying. What?
She says,
Yeah.
"Stop making fun."
Stop making fun of me.
Say it into the microphone.
Stop making fun of me.
Oh, man. Can I beg you guys to bring this game to Windows Phone? Because we need more games on Windows Phone.
If you can tell us how you would control it on a touchscreen, then we'll consider it.
Well, what else would you be using it? How else would you be controlling it on mobile?
Sorry.
I think Corey thought you meant Dad Beat Dads.
Oh,
Never
no,
mind.
your exploding animal pachinko.
Yeah, we've looked into Windows Phone a very, very little bit, but I think you probably know more than anyone the market for Windows games.
I think you're the only one that has one.
No, both of us on the show have one.
Which I think is hilarious because we talked to a lot of people who are oh hey, we're doing a ID at Xbox. Microsoft's been really good to us, but we ain't touching that fucking phone.
That really is how
Yeah.
it seems most of the time.
It's a bit of an uphill battle for sure. I mean, you got to be. I think someone with deeper pockets than us would have to really get a hit game and market the shit out of it to really make an impact on the Windows Phone now.
I just think Microsoft is making it too hard for people to get Xbox certification on the Windows Phone, because I see plenty of games show up on the Windows Phone store, but so few of them have actual Xbox integration into it. And apparently that's just a huge hurdle that Microsoft's mobile division is just being dicks about. And I don't understand it. They want their phone to succeed. The thing that sets them apart is they have Xbox on their phone. But I don't know. I still buy every Xbox game that comes out for it. I'll still buy to support them.
Yeah, it's tough because I think, like I said, our experience with ID at Xbox has been really, really good, but and that's on the people side. But dealing with some of the ins and outs of their websites and the bureaucratic things, it's obviously like this huge monolithic titan that one hand doesn't know what the other is doing sometimes. So I think that's part of that lack of integration that you're talking about. They're too big to be able to talk to all the different departments and get that coordinated.
Yeah.
But which makes it just a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Hey, as long as the console section's working well, I'm happy.
Exactly, yeah. And that's another game we're working on is more of a PC/console game that's in really, really early stages. It's called Axolotl. And it's basically, I guess you could say it's like
a roguelike bubble with guns. Interesting.
I am intrigued.
You don't say much, but when you do, we're listening.
It's we're both really interested in pixel art. We're both pretty big pixel art fans, but we don't really have any experience doing it ourselves. So this is sort of our excuse to make a really small scope game and try to do some pixel art and see how it turns out.
And get some of that roguelike stuff going too, where it's a different playthrough every time. It's not necessarily like we both love Dad Beat Dads, but I mean there is a certain like, okay, I played this level, I know what this is like, I'm used to this experience. But with a roguelike, it's a lot more open ended. So we want to mess around with that a little bit too.
Yeah, and all I play is roguelikes. Like that's all I play Spelunky like every single day.
I am so bad at that game.
Everybody is. I've only beaten it once. I must have like 400 hours in it total, but I've only really beaten it legitimately like once or twice. It's really tough, but I always come back to it.
Hey, there's three or four people out there who are good at the game. They exist.
Yeah. I like watching some of the speed runs, and these people have like a speed run where they don't collect gold, or a speed run where they don't kill anything, and I can't even beat it regularly. But these people are like adding their own like what would you call it?
Spelunky savant sauce to it.
I hate watching speedruns for the game, mainly because when I do, it makes me feel like, oh, the game can't be that hard, and then I play it again. And I am just proven to be a completely incompetent idiot when it comes to Splunky, which, I mean, I already know I'm an incompetent idiot to begin with, but at least games I'm decent at. And then
games are supposed to be the escape. You don't want to be driving home your shortcomings, right?
Exactly. And then I'll watch people play Splunky on speedruns, and they're just amazing at it. I'm like, man, this really doesn't look too hard when you really, you think about it. Those jumps don't look bad. Like, yeah, he's killing that snake and the bats, and it really doesn't look that bad. I should give the game another go. And then I give the game another go, and I am embarrassed. My manhood is destroyed.
Soul crushed.
Exactly. That game just makes me its bitch constantly.
Yeah, those are some hard-ass little cartoon characters for sure.
And then you're going to make a game like that with Bubble Bobble. So
yeah, sort of. It won't be as complex as Spelunky. It's a little more straightforward, but we just wanted to dip our toes in the pixel art and the roguelikes and
get some guns into a game.
Yeah, we haven't done anything with shooting, so we love shooting games. We like Contra and Broforce and stuff. So
hell yeah, Contra's my shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just we've got a stand-up arcade we bought a little while ago that was dead on the inside. So
just like us.
Just like us. So we're reviving him with we got ourselves a what is it, an X-Arcade, the dual joystick controller. So we're jamming that thing in there and getting some ROM emulators. So we I think Contra is one of the ones that doesn't quite work yet, but we got the old Aliens video game up and running. So
yeah, that was pretty fun.
Nice. I will have to track down Baby Dodgeball and send it to you.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I've written it down here. So it's Super Dodgeball Baby.
I think it's just Baby Dodgeball.
Nice.
I gotta look it up. I'm pretty sure I have it on my hard drive.
Of course you do.
Yeah, that's definitely up our alley.
Man, where's Baby? I don't see it on here. Damn it.
Where's the baby?
Oh man, Baby.
So yeah, those are the two games we're working on right now. We've always got sort of stuff percolating in the back of our heads, but some of them are sort of bigger. So our hope with the studio is, we get a couple of smaller hits rolling in, and then that sort of funds we can swing from vine to vine, and hopefully one of those vines is made out of cash, and we can really do some huge games.
We're definitely interested if any of that stuff comes to our wonderful Xbox consoles.
Oh yeah.
Since we are fans of the Xbox on our show.
Yeah, well, we're already working with them, so it should be fairly easy to convince them to
let us put some more games
on there, hopefully.
So you guys are you guys Xbox exclusive, or do you?
I'm Xbox and Steam. I have an actual job, so limited time. I didn't want to have to choose between 5 different consoles and shit. Joe, however,
I have everything. So like our show, we're not exclusive to any platform, but if people give us Xbox games, it's a lot easier for everyone on the show to cover instead of just me.
And I play the Steam games because Joe's computer was made when we graduated high school in '99.
It's held together with twigs and vines.
Oh man!
Yeah, well, he has 5 cats because at any given time, one of them has to be running in a giant wheel to power the computer.
Well, no, they're chasing the gerbil inside that's running. I mean, the cats themselves don't run. Right? My cats are too fat to run.
That's a good point.
The gerbil's good.
We just rub the cats together. You can get yourself a nice static charge there. Zap that computer.
Oh, that'd be great. But yeah, a new computer is definitely on the docket for me soon because I'm guessing it's going to explode soon. That's what happens when they break, right? They just explode.
I think so, yeah. It's usually a shrapnel meets eye situation.
Nice. No, I'm excited for that. It sounds like it's going to be a good 2016 on my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, we cover everything that we can, and it just depends on what the platform is of who covers it. And given that our third co-host is so busy with his band lately, and Pappy only owns one actual console, trying to cover everything is rough sometimes. But
yeah. Sometimes.
But we're doing it.
Yeah, it's got to be challenging now, especially because there's so many games coming out. Like it is just insane.
Hey, it makes our show fun though because we get to talk to so many cool people and you guys. That was too easy. I couldn't help it. So, Pappy, are you going to ask your favorite question?
Yeah. Since you guys are obviously, been pretty busy pumping out all these awesome ideas, when you do find time to, chill, what other kind of video games do you guys tend to play when you're not working on your own?
Well, I was always sort of like a first-person shooter guy, but only one. I played a lot of Halo back in the day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I was a big Halo guy, and then the Halo 4 just sort of like sucked. So
Oh, you like 4?
yeah, I was pretty bummed out by the latest Halo. And Corey had been telling me.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I thought there was more story crammed into 4 than 1, 2, and 3 combined.
Yeah, I agree, and that's sort of why it bummed me out.
Okay, that'll do it.
You know what? The first Halo especially, but even 2 and 3, there was just so much there was humor sort of mixed in with it. It was a lot more ridiculous.
Well, the enemies would go ah!
Yeah,
like
yeah.
And it seems like the newer ones, like Master Chief is now Batman Dark Knight.
It takes itself super seriously.
I haven't played them, but that's the feeling.
Because I remember I was stationed in Japan when the first Halo came out. We were playing, 2 Xboxes linked up, facing opposite walls. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we were playing 4-on-4, and then the whole, you needed a 9th guy to make sure no one was looking behind him at the other guy's screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty serious. That's you're liable to get a pillow in the face when you start peeking at screens.
Yeah, that's just dangerous. A pillow in the face. Yeah, we were all
playing
20.
Halo, and that just evolves into a pillow fight.
Yeah, we were all in our early 20s. It would have been a glass bottle to the face.
Nice.
You're all in your nightgowns. Pillow fight.
Yeah.
Feathers everywhere. Then the syrup comes out.
Whoa.
Huh? What?
Weird.
What happened?
So yeah, that Halo 4 just sort of not really turned my crank that much. And then Corey had been telling me for a long time to try Skyrim because I'd never RPGs or it's like watching paint dry for me.
Yeah, he was so anti-RPG, I think, because I used to be a big Final Fantasy fan. And I think that's what Ted was thinking when I was saying RPG. I was like, no, Skyrim is barely an RPG. You should check it out.
Yeah, you get to fight shit and kill bears. And
it's an action game pretending to be an RPG.
Like the first thing you want to do when you get into free roam mode is go find a giant and punch him in the dick. See what happens.
Exactly. That is exactly what I did. And I got launched into the sky, and it was glorious.
They still haven't fixed that. That still happens.
It's on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that, and I just picked up Grand Theft Auto 5 just not too long ago, late last year, and I've been playing that for the first time. So it's a lot of pedestrian murders, a lot of shooting and killing, and general robbery. So it's good. Those are my big ones, anyways.
Wholesome stuff, family-friendly stuff.
Exactly.
Family-friendly. Fuck you. Oh.
And then, yeah, Corey, I think, is a big Spelunky guy, as he said. He's
Yeah, I mostly play Steam games, and I have a PlayStation 3, but all I play on my PS3 is Skyrim. So I'm a dad too, so I don't have any time to play anything really. But when I do, I'm usually playing Spelunky, Skyrim, or recently Downwell, which is super, super fun.
Haven't heard of that one. What's that on?
Downwell is a roguelike where you play this little dude that falls down a well, and he's got guns, but they shoot out of the bottom of his feet. So you have to make it all the way to the bottom of each level, and it's randomly generated, and you have random upgrades and stuff like that. It's a really nice, fun, bite-sized thing. It's only like $3 or $4 on Steam. They have an Android, but can't really get into it because I don't really like touchscreen controls. But
that's fair.
Yeah, that's about all. Any new roguelike game that comes out, I'm usually all over it, and that's my choice.
Have you tried Quest of Dungeons?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Because I know that came on the Xbox One last year, and I was addicted to that game for so long. That was one of my favorite games of last year.
Oh yeah.
Is that like an RPG sort of thing, or is it?
It's a kind of like Zelda style dungeons, top down view, RPG. It's not like it's not an action hack and slash kind of game. It's like one of those walk into your enemy and you attack each other thing. You explore, you go down level to level to level. and it's roguelike, so every time you play, it's a completely different dungeon, all randomized. 5 different classes that you could pick from. Really good stuff, and I think it's only like $10 on Xbox One.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe likes video games. I'm just terrible at them. So
That's me too. I'm not really the best gamer in the world.
I love first-person shooters. Absolutely love them. I'm happy if I have a 1-to-1 ratio at the end of a round. I'm like, holy shit, look what I did! Because usually it's somewhere closer to like 0.3.
I was gonna say I'm happy when I hit a 0.3.
Yeah, but you're good at most other games. That's. Generally, when Joe's got a bunch of games to review, he's like, hey, take a look at these 8 games. Tell me if you want to play any of them. And I usually find like one where I'm like, okay, not only do I have time to play this game, but I think I'll be not suck enough to get past level 2 and actually be able to talk about the game on the show.
Yeah, there'll be like a listing, and he'll just be like, meh, meh, no, meh.
Or once in a while, I'll find one where I'm like, I should enjoy this, but no promises I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough part for me. I usually play a new game, and I actually got Halo online for about, I think, a half a day. I tried it, and so many 12-year-olds just kicked the shit out of me. I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. Never play it again.
It stopped being fun.
Yeah.
It stopped being fun when someone younger than my friend's child just kicked my ass.
Yeah.
That's why with Halo, I just focus on campaign.
Yes, campaign soothes all wounds.
I love the multiplayer at Halo. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's generally like after an hour, maybe 2 hours, it's like, all right, I'm done. Win or lose, we've played with enough random assholes that I can't play anymore.
I will say though that in Halo 5, the Warzone mode is very casual friendly because you don't have to be good.
Except once in a while when you get those. Hey, let's spawn 17 fucking tanks.
When you're already in your base trying to defend. Yeah, well, like those are never fun, but for the most part, Warzone is really casual friendly, and that's basically the only online mode I play in Halo 5.
Yeah, well, I used to love Griffball.
True.
That was always a lot of fun.
Griffball
what's
is
Warzone
good.
mode? I haven't played Halo 5 yet. What is Warzone mode like as opposed
16
to online?
on 16?
Something like that. It's PvP VE. There's the red team, the blue team, and then the Covenant team.
So it's first team to 1,000, but like, this Covenant mini bosses spawn. You kill it, you get like 100 points for your team immediately.
Oh,
it's like Destiny almost.
Yeah, so you gotta keep kicking the other team's ass and make sure that you get to the Covenant spawns and kill the enemy before the other team does.
And then
that makes the difference.
You get scores through killing things, killing the NPCs, killing the other players, and then also there's 3 strongholds that you control, and whoever you get points for that every second or so.
It's got that great mix of, you got the capture the flag part where you're keeping strongholds and shit, and the PvP, and like Joe said, you're also fighting the computer.
Yeah, so if you're terrible like me, you can try going after some of the NPC enemies and taking them out, or if you go into an enemy base, there will be like AI Marines in there. So kind of like in Titanfall, because I'm terrible at shooters, I would use the auto pistol and go after the grunt AI guys on the opponent's team and still feel like I'm contributing in some way.
In some small way.
So
you did good.
I get it. I get a cookie.
You're like, you look at your stats like, I killed 52 AIs and 1 enemy player, and then I died 87 times. Well, fuck it was fun.
Good enough for me. I did well.
Yeah, you're harvesting some of those crops.
Hey, that gets like a couple of points in the long run.
Oh yeah, exactly. That sounds pretty cool. Actually, it makes me want to try it because I used to like. Was it Halo Reach that had the waves? You would fight Covenant and brutes in waves. I think.
Yeah, firefight mode. I think.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Because Mass Effect 3 was nice too, because that was its only online was just wave after wave, and I'm like, yeah, I can handle this. Like,
yeah.
The moment I got to play a human being, that's when my my abilities drop.
Yeah, you get sniped in the head from 100 yards away every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Because I'm
That's why I
terrible.
stopped Call of Duty, because I love campaigns. So every time I got a Call of Duty game, I would play the campaign before getting online. So God forbid you wait 2 weeks to play the online mode, you're fucked. Everyone else is already level 80.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
They've memorized the spawns, where to camp, and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love Horde mode style games. Actually, a game just came out today. If you're a fan of Horde mode games, we're going to talk about this more on Thursday's show that you'll probably hear on Friday. A game came out called Fortified, which is basically Horde mode, the video game, with aliens and robots. And it's cool as fuck. So if you guys are looking for something to co-op online with some friends, I would be more than happy to throw down on some Fortified with you.
It's a great mix of, you set up your entrenchments. Each of the players you can pick has their own abilities and stuff. So I've got like mortars and artillery cannon. Joe's putting up like bazooka soldiers and stuff. Our buddy Shiz was putting up like Tesla coils. And then once you start the mode, you're also running around and shooting stuff yourself. You're not just letting your encampments do all the work.
Nice.
It's like a third-person shooter mixed with Horde mode mixed with tower defense, and it's really cool stuff.
Yeah,
and even better, it had a learning curve that didn't murder our faces.
Yeah.
Like, it got progressively harder, but if you would replay some levels to level up, you were able to maybe squeak by, but it might have been hard to win, but you weren't immediately facing danger and death.
Wasn't a pure slaughter.
Yeah. Oh god, I hate those.
Was it Fortify or Fortify?
Fortified.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just hit the Xbox One store tonight.
We're finally legally allowed to talk about it.
Yeah. So you guys could play it for 3 days before Dad Beat Dads comes out, and then on Friday, just buy Dad Beat Dads and play that instead.
Yeah, and then we'll try and get the Fortified guys on here and tell them to go buy Dad Beat Dads. So.
Yes.
And then we'll get both of you on together, and then you can just like throw down in a rap battle.
Nice. Well, I'm a T to the E to the double D Y. My name's Ed. Wasn't around to fly. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to. That wasn't freestyle. I had to again.
Hey, it's still more than we expected.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll get the Fortified guys teamed up, and we'll do Datified.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh my god! Yeah, and everything is just as babies. The Tesla coil is just a baby wrapped in like tinfoil and wire.
Nice.
I now officially want to see you guys team up with Clapfoot and make Datified.
Oh, nice.
If this happens, I want a special thanks in the credits for the game.
Oh, absolutely. We can put you in there as one of the dads.
Oh fuck!
This happens. I just want to play the fucking game. Like I don't.
That would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Well, we are going on an hour here. I'm not sure if there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about with the game, or if anything else in general you want to chat about.
I think this is probably more talking we've done in this last hour than we have in the last week. We're usually pretty head down, ass up, sort of like I say, cranking away at our computers, drawing like fiends. So this was a lot of fun.
Head down, ass up, and then I remember that you guys are a bottomless work area. So.
We are. So
it's just ass up, facing the pillow.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Well, you got to air out the taint.
We got deodorant sticks shoved between our cheeks, so keep it fresh.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a great way to say goodnight.
Yeah. I want to thank the both of you for coming on. It's been a fantastic chat. We usually play music at the end of the episode, and I saw that the Dad Beat Dad soundtrack is actually up on Bandcamp, so I figure I will play some Dad Beat Dad's music for our audience.
Awesome. Yeah, our amazing composer, Sam English, is the guy behind the music, and he just absolutely crushed it. Yeah, we love the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's awesome music. I'm always happy when we do an interview and I'm able to play music from the game for the interview because the soundtrack is so good. And it's available, which is even better.
Yes.
Because sometimes soundtrack's not available, and you're like, well, can you send us a couple of tracks? And they're like, probably not. Tough shit.
Well, Yeah, thanks again for being on, guys. I'm gonna go waste the next hour of my life watching Gundarr.
Nice.
Yeah, feel free to find that on YouTube.
Yeah, check out Gundarr. Hoist a fresca and enjoy some barbarian action.
Cheers.
So for our listeners, do you have any final words to close out this episode of the show?
I would say check your local Xbox listings for Dad Beat Dads coming out this Friday. And please let us know what you think. We're on Twitter. I'm at TedWilson79, and Corey is at Siskavard. So yeah, if you guys download the game, like it, don't like it, or indifferent, let us know. We'd love to hear some feedback. So, and thank you guys very much for letting us come on here. It's been a real blast.
Yeah, it was fun on our end too, guys. Yeah, y'all have a good time, and thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
All right, there's the show then.
Sweet.
I was waiting for like a funny end thing, and then Pappy had to start talking, so he ruined it all.
I don't get that chance to ruin things often enough. I got to take my opportunities when they come.
Happy.